You hear about a war on the other side of the world, and you probably don't think about your retirement, right? But what if I told you it could actually shrink your Social Security check? In this explainer, we're going to follow a really surprising chain reaction, using insights from someone who knows the system inside and out, a former Social Security manager.
So, how can something happening thousands of miles away in the Middle East possibly affect your retirement here at home? It might seem like a huge leap, but there's a direct line. So, let's trace that line and see exactly how it all connects back to your wallet. Okay, so the first domino to fall is something we all feel in our bones: inflation. See, when conflict kicks off in a big oil producing region, the economic shockwaves travel fast, and the very first place they usually hit is right at the gas pump. Yeah, and you see it right away, don't you? At the pump, the national average starts creeping up over $4 a gallon, and in some places, it's way higher. This isn't just an annoyance, it's the first real, tangible step in that domino effect. And this is where that initial sting at the pump starts to ripple out across, well, everything. Because higher fuel costs mean it's more expensive to get anything from point A to point B. And that extra cost, it gets baked right into the price of your groceries, your butter, your bread, pretty much everything you put in your cart. All right, so let's just trace this chain of events step by step. A conflict breaks out. That causes gas prices to spike. That spike leads to widespread inflation across the board. And then the Social Security system has this built-in automatic response. It has to issue a higher cost of living adjustment, or COLA. Now, a higher COLA, that sounds great, doesn't it? More money in your pocket when prices are going up. But, and this is a big but, the reality is a lot more complicated than it seems on the surface. So what is this COLA thing exactly? Well, at its core, you can think of it as a shield. It's an automatic annual boost in your benefits specifically designed to fight back against inflation. The whole point is to make sure your buying power doesn't just get eaten away by rising prices, which is absolutely critical if you're on a fixed income. And the important thing to remember here is that this isn't some group of politicians in a room making a decision. No, it's all based on a set formula. The Bureau of Labor Statistics tracks the price of a whole basket of everyday goods and services. Then they compare the prices from the third quarter of one year to the next, and whatever that percentage increase is, poof, that automatically becomes the COLA for the next year. And man, have we seen just how wild these swings can be lately. Just a little while ago, crazy high inflation triggered this massive 8.7% COLA. But then more recently, that number plummeted down to just 2.8%. That huge swing is a direct reflection of the economic instability we're talking about. But here is the crucial catch. According to Dr. Weir, a huge COLA doesn't actually mean you're getting ahead. Think about it. It's a reaction to inflation that's already happened. You're just playing catch-up, getting more money to pay for prices that have already shot through the roof. And that right there, that brings us to the real heart of the issue. That seemingly helpful big COLA payment, well, it comes with a pretty big and mostly hidden cost to the entire Social Security system. So you gotta ask, right? When millions and millions of people get a raise all at once, where does that extra cash actually come from? Well, the answer is basically twofold. Some of it comes from taxes that people working today are paying. But the other and really critical part is drawn from the Social Security Trust Fund. You can think of it like a giant savings account that's been built up over decades to keep the whole system healthy for the long run. So just think about that massive 8.7% hike. That's a huge payout, billions of dollars, designed to help retirees deal with today's high prices. It's a short-term fix, but it has a serious long-term cost. Because that short-term help is directly tied to this much scarier number, 23%. That's the automatic, across-the-board cut to benefits that's projected to happen to everyone if that big trust fund savings account ever runs dry. And this is where Dr. Weir really connects the dots for us. He's saying that these massive COLA payments are like hitting the accelerator on draining that trust fund. The more money that has to go out the door today to cover inflation, the faster that emergency reserve shrinks, and the sooner that potential 23% cut could become a very real problem. Okay, so let's pull all these pieces together and talk about what this whole chain reaction really means for you and your financial future. It's pretty clear when you lay it all out like this, isn't it? A conflict halfway around the world leads to higher gas prices and inflation right here at home. The system responds exactly as it's designed to, with a bigger COLA payment. But, and here's the kicker, that very response ends up draining the trust fund faster, which creates a huge long-term risk for everyone. And the ultimate bottom line? Well, Dr. Weir couldn't have put it more clearly. These global shocks, through this chain reaction of inflation and COLA, literally shorten the lifespan of the Social Security Trust Fund. It just brings that day of reckoning a whole lot closer.
So, if there's one thing to take away from all this, it's that the Social Security system doesn't exist in a bubble. Events happening thousands of miles away can absolutely trigger a domino effect that puts a direct strain on its long-term financial health.
And that really leaves us all with a pretty heavy question to think about, doesn't it? In a world that feels more and more unstable, is a system that was designed so many decades ago actually built to handle the kind of global economic shocks we're seeing in the 21st century? It's a vital question for all of us. Thanks for joining me for this breakdown.